Welcome, in front of me is a HUAWEI P Smart Z, and today I will show you a couple tweaks and tricks that I can do on this device. So we're gonna start off with gesture navigation, which will allow you just to have a little bit more modern way of getting rid of these buttons on the bottom and have it a little bit more slick navigation. So to get started, let's go into the settings and then all the way to system, from where you will find system navigation, and here you have the three different options. Now it's set to 3-key navigation. You also have an option to add a navigation dock, which will just create this little bubble that you can move around, and you either press it, hold it, or swipe it to access all these buttons in a way. But I actually turn it off and you can see. So if I press, it goes back, hold it, it quits, and how is the... There we go, so recent is to the side. I'm gonna disable this one, and there's the gesture navigation. Now if you're trying to launch this for the first time, it will give you a tutorial on how to use it. Now you can go through it or just skip it if you already are acquainted with this kind of gesture navigation. Now I'm gonna go through it fairly quickly just so you can see. So you have swipe from side, it works from either side of it, to basically go back, as you can see, and swipe up to quit, as you can see, and swipe and hold to go into recent, like so. And basically you can see that now there's no more buttons on the bottom and everything is based on gestures. And you see, you swipe up and hold, it opens up the recent. If you go into a app and you swipe from the side, it pops out this arrow. From either side it works. Yep. So yeah, a fairly nice way. Now there is one thing to keep in mind. When you're in apps that have like this panel that you normally would swipe from the side to bring it up, it still works even though you have the back that pops out. You just have to slide it from higher up. So I know that Play Store is one of them. Assuming I have actually internet, but I don't, so I don't think I will be able to show it, but you can actually see it right now without the internet. So if I swipe from like half, it just brings back, and right here you can see that it brings out the panel. There's a specific point where the back button doesn't actually isn't affected anymore, and it just brings out the panel. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go into the split screen option, which just allows you to have two different apps open at the same time. And to open it up for the first time, you will have to have apps open. So if you go into recent, you just have to have some kind of app open. And from there, you can see each one of those apps has this like 2 bars icon. And that is basically the split screen icon. So once you tap on it, the first app that you open up goes always to the top, and then you have all the apps right here. You can also swipe up to go home and add different app. For instance, right here, let's open up Chrome. No thanks. And this also works very well with YouTube. So you could be watching video on YouTube, and normally if you try to quit it, it will pause. But because it will still be technically open, you can still play the video while using, for instance, Chrome. Just as an example. Let's quit this. Now moving on, I'm gonna go into the hiding password option, which just allows you to make the password field be immediately like not readable. So if I choose somewhere where I actually have to type it, you can see that whenever you type it in, it shows you the latest letter. Now I'm not the greatest fan of this. It just shows you basically your entire password if you type it in. So you can actually hide it by going into the settings, then security and privacy. From here, let's go into more settings and then encryption and credentials. And here you'll find this misleadingly named option, show password, which you want to disable. And now if we go back to typing in a password, no, wait, not here. you can see that it is immediate dot. Okay, so that is one. Now moving on, I'm gonna go into the option of screen resolution. By default, I think it's set to smart, which will change it depending on your battery level. Okay, so to get the settings, go onto the display and you have screen resolution right here. So you can disable it, and you can either have it on Full HD Plus or just HD. So it's a matter of choice. Probably HD will be better looking than 720p. In certain cases, you can see the difference in how it looks like. For instance, if you're using a Google Books or whatever it's called, basically a book reader from Google. If you set it to 720, the text will be super large. If you go a little bit lower, the text will keep getting significantly smaller. So keep that in mind. Now, also another thing to keep in mind, the smaller the resolution, the longer the battery will last. Now, this might not be a super significant factor in battery life, but it is nonetheless. So keep that in mind. Okay, so moving on to the last one, it's going to be the app lock, which allows you to lock application. So for instance, you can lock photos. So if someone gets your phone and they're on the home screen, if they try to open up, for instance, gallery and gain access to your photos, they won't be able to without, for instance, a fingerprint. So to set it up, you would go into the security and privacy again, and from here you have the app lock. Now, for this to actually work, I think you need to have additional way of like the screen lock normally, considering I don't actually have it set up right now. As you will see, I can freely unlock it. So let's just go custom pin, like so. Oops. There we go. And then you have the list of all the apps once you set it up. So from here you can check each app that you wish to have app lock. So demonstration, I'll go to the gallery and the photos. There's the gallery app, there we go. So once you have checked all the apps that you wish to protect, you can quit right here, and now you'll have this when you're trying to open up an app that is locked. So you have to put in the code that you have set. Now I believe this also can be done with a fingerprint, as long as you have one that is set on the device. It will just prompt you to either put the pin or just touch your finger on the scanner on the back. So personal choice. Yeah, but this would basically finish up the tweaks and tricks that I want to share, and if you found any of them helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.